is going to be produced from Bisu. So Bisu opting for Reavers instead of Dark Templar, and I think he would have been better off with Dark Templar, though still going to be in an okay position here, it looks like. The question is how effective will his harasses be? Also going to take, instead of taking that mineral only that's basically well protected above his base, going to take that 6 o'clock location and an additional gas there, and putting down additional pylons, continuing to produce those Corsairs. So we'll see what he can do with this Reaver harass that's going to be coming in just a moment. It looks like I'm kind of trying to keep an eye out for that in the map. That 3 o'clock and this is going to be hard for Kwanro because he's going to have to. Well, actually, I take it back. Reavers can be extremely vulnerable to Hydralisks, especially if that shell gets picked off. So Bisu is going to have to use a lot of his micromanagement powers. As you can see, that evolution chamber going down. Looks like a couple Scourges being produced, and I think that might be for both taking down those Corsairs and for scouting purposes alongside. Ooh, just barely moving that Overlord back. Ooh, able to catch a Corsair out, and that's really the key here is once Bisu gets like 6 to 8. Ooh, very clever from Kwanro, as I was talking about that information denial out in the field, and Bisu teching up actually to 4 bases very quickly. He's gone burrow, and he's actually burrowed looks like a lot of Zerglings out in the field, which is going to give him scouting information. Bisu not scouting that out. Instead of producing observers right now, he's producing Reavers. And interestingly enough, now as you can see, he's going to bring those Scourge up to kind of use his Corsairs of his own to get some scouting information. You're going to see that base coming up. It's also going to be key whether he comes across that 6 o'clock location and scouts information there. And seeing the first Reaver right there produce, so he's going to know that Reaver attack is coming. Swinging back around and spotting that second building, so I'm kind of curious what that is. But Corsair is very shortly going to be able to take that, as you can see. And yeah, a lot of Hydra. It looks like Kwanro right now just happy to macro up. Looks like he's going to try to play more of a map control game. Now starting to move out, bringing Overlords alongside. They are speed upgraded, which is going to make those Corsairs a lot less effective. So Kwanro really trying to play against that Bisu build, trying to keep his Overlord count alive. Now, as you can see, Kwanro going to spot that off with those Zerglings, really paying off. Going to pull those Hydralisks back, even though he's pushing towards the front there. Going to catch this midfield, in fact, picking off another Corsair, and that is huge. Corsairs are essentially like Bisu's overlords here. As long as he keeps that Corsair count low, he'll be in a really good position here. So Kwanro having to pull back. Fleet Beacon going down. So it looks like Bisu is going for really old school, well, I shouldn't say old school, but definitely haven't seen in a long time. And I'm curious if that Scourge saw that 6 o'clock location. Looks like Overlord's pushing out. We might see a drop here with that Overlord escort, actually, because as you can see, their speed upgrade. But going for, it looks like a D-web, defense web Reaver build, interestingly enough. And we'll see how successful that is for him. Honestly, that takes a lot of micro, and a couple of things you have to do is you have to depict where the attack's coming, and Kwanro doing an excellent job denying where the, basically denying, just keeping those scouts out in the field, bringing those Hydralisks around, and keeping Bisu from really doing any sort of effective harass. He's lost more Corsairs than he's killed Overlords at this point. Looks like a couple Lurkers being built alongside, and 2 robotics facilities. So Bisu's really committing to this Reaver Corsair combo, but really with that disruption web, nothing attacks under it, just in case you're not aware of how it works. And so basically you take damage under it still, but if a ground unit is under the disruption web, they do not attack. Attacks basically do not function while you're under disruption web. But basically for that to work, that shuttle just almost getting picked off out in the field. And it looks like it's heading to the north. Looks like it could be heading into an ambush right here. Looks like it is being backed out in the proper direction though. But with that D-web, you have to depict where the battle's happening. Otherwise, your opponent is just going to scoot around it. He's just going to move out of it and then continue with his attack. 2 shuttles out now, I assume full of Reavers at the moment. And Bisu is still not dropped. And I'm not sure if this is intentional, whether he's just trying to look for vulnerable units out in the field. Looks like an additional Overlord going to get picked out there for Kwanro, but I think that was mostly for scouting. It looks like Kwanro going to go in for a drop. This could be disastrous for Kwanro right here. First of all, there's a lot of Overlords in those grouping, and he needs to protect them. He needs not lose them. 3 cannons already waiting, as well as a Reaver pushing up. And Kwanro, this could be absolutely disastrous, dropping down, and it looks like he's going to back out. This is unusual for Kwanro. Kwanro, you can tell he's matured in the off-season. Usually he would have persisted with that attack, but backing out really shows some increased maturity. Saving those Overlords, those Corsairs can't push in with those Hydralisks at that position now. A little disappointed, as you can see, but really the wise move right there, and that is definitely a shift from the Kwanro of the past, not shoving in with the hapless attack. So, and it looks like Kwanro in the meantime has expanded the bottom right-hand corner. Looks like these Reavers Reavers actually pushing in at that location. I'm not sure that Kwanro has defense of that location. Does not look like he does. So we're going to be able to see exactly what's in these drop shuttles. And as you can see, it looks like 2 Reavers, 3 Reavers, and 2 Zealots going to attack here. And honestly, I don't think and this is perfect. There's the D-Web. This is the exact situation you want to have that D-Web in, is going up a ramp where you can depict where the battle is happening. That hatchery is going to go down. So quick strike from Bisu. First successful attack of the day for him. And now a couple Corsairs being caught out in the field, just taking damage, so not losing anything, but still containing his base. And really, I still wonder about this build. I still think he would have been better off with the Dark Templar, because he still hasn't affected Kwanro's economy, really. He has taken out Hatchery, and it looks like Kwanro attacking directly up the Hive, maybe to get some of those cracklings. And a couple Overlords getting caught on the field, but it looks like a couple of Corsairs being attacked as well. Shuttles alongside, yeah, they're starting to push that 9 o'clock position. We'll see if they're, or I'm sorry, the 3 o'clock position. We'll see if they'll be able to push up the 3 o'clock, or if there's Hydralisks waiting there for them. And more gateways going down, so Bisu starting to tech up alongside and putting down the Citadel now. Yeah, he needs to get Templar out. I mean, Reaver Harass is nice for what it is right now, but ultimately, long run against Zerg, you need that bread and butter. You need that Psy Storm. If you do not have that Psy Storm, that will be your downfall. And another Overlord going down, Bisu able to pick it off. So actually doing a little bit better, but honestly, I think you need to do that early. Weapons 2 looks like it's continuing to go up. And Bisu looks like he's headed up for an attack near the main, but as you can see, a lot of Hydralisks waiting for him, as well as this Hydralisk 12 o'clock position. And now, yeah, Kwanro just playing a contained game, making sure that Bisu doesn't get out. Going to spot that there. Looks like he was pushing out initially for an Overlord drop. Looks like the way he's reacting, he just spotted that base out. I think Bisu saw it as well, so he's expecting an attack somewhere nearby. Now he's pushing to the north. Honestly, though, I don't think 4 Hydralisks is going to do much against those 3 drop shuttles. And now, as you can see, I think that was an exploratory Corsair for Bisu, maybe a distractionary Corsair as well. Now it looks like Bisu's going to go in for an attack right on the main. This could be huge for him. Man, this is a perfect situation. As you can see, Kwanro, the way he set up his bases, he set up, just unfortunately, he doesn't have units in position, so D-Web is going to play a huge role. Even if he does get his drones out, that is a ton of Reavers destroying everything, and that's where all his production is. Wow, already taken out the Spire, going to be able to take the spawning pool as well, most likely. Hydralisk Den down, there's the D-Web, taking out an Evolution Chamber, and really the question is will Kwanro lose his Hive? If he loses that Hive, Kwanro is going to be in an extremely strong position. Kwanro, in the meantime, keep in mind, he can't produce additional units. He does not have an additional spawning pool. He does not have an additional Hydralisk Den. He's just got to use what he's got right now to try to fend this off. In the meantime, Bisu doing an excellent job. Ooh, misclick with his disruption web. That's going to cause those 3 Reavers right on the edge to not be able to fire. That was a huge mistake. Going to end up losing those inside 3 Reavers, and that's going to stop that attack right there. So just one missed disruption web ended up costing him that entire attack. Didn't get the Hive down, so Kwanro's still in this game. Bisu, in the meantime, though, needs to adjust. Looks like he is expanding the upper left-hand corner. Kwanro has spotted it out. Now Bisu needs to... I hope he has a lot of units alongside, but it looked like he had a ton of Corsairs. I don't know if he had the units, really, to kind of push into Kwanro at this point. He needs to, though, right now, while Kwanro can't produce additional units. My guess is that spawning pool is just finished, as well as that Hydralisk Den, and we'll see, and probably going to produce a lot of units alongside to try to supplement what units he has for us. But it looks like Bisu just only looks like a control group of Zealots to push out here, so this isn't going to be very effective. 2 Evolution Chambers still up, and as you can see, still units on the ground. And it looks like Kwanro doing a really good job of keeping up with his upgrades as well. As opposed, he's got that level 1 Carapace and that level 1 weapons. I should say level 1 Spine. Now, as you can see, these Dragoons pushing in. They do have that speed upgrade, it looks like, but really not going to serve them against this large group of Hydralisks. And a disruption going down, but with those, it's not going to be all that effective, honestly. Not with those Zealots. This is in open field. Kwanro can just maneuver around it, and he is just not losing a lot of Corsairs. Looked like a Reaver as well. As you can see, he's going to escape with some drop shells and a couple Zealots there. But you do not want to face Kwanro in open field with as you can see, just pushing out of that, out of there, just maneuvering a little bit. Looks like he's expanding the bottom right-hand corner.